When you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to Youth Wednesdays and Tobago Updates morning show. You're bringing us here live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. This is Youth Wednesdays yet again, smack center in the middle of your busy week. We are here to bring you the youthful vibe, youthful vigor, and everything centric Tobago right here in this esteemed studio. My name is Dwayne Nils. For those of you who don't know me, I'm one of your favorite youth hosts, and I'm also joined by
Miss Julie St. John. Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Youth Wednesdays and Tobago Updates.
Oh yeah, it's always a pleasure to host with you, Miss St. John. Being here at Tobago Updates, especially at Youth Wednesdays, is very telling in that there's an opportunity to share with our youthful counterparts across the Tobago space, Trinidad, and the wider world. A lot has been happening in our space.
Yes.
But this is Tobago. We are approaching what we would call summer. We have a lot of activities coming up.
Yes, we do.
Heritage, everything. But before I get into all of that, or we make mention of anything else, a special good morning to you, our ardent viewers, wherever you're viewing us, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, AMPLIA, Digital, you name it, we are everywhere.
We are on it.
And it just goes to show how important we are and essential to your busy day. So before we get into anything further, and I'll run down for you this morning, we're gonna go over to news in 90 seconds with Miss St. John.
Serious questions are being raised over the sanitation and the state of the cabins on the MV Blue Wave Harmony. Truckers are expressing fierce outrage after broken toilets and a lack of running water forced the Port Authority to put temporary portable toilets on the US $25,000 per day recently leased cargo vessel. A major legal update today. Police investigators have officially forwarded the case file involving Joshua Samaru to the Director of Public Prosecutions for legal advice. Sources indicate that detectives compiled comprehensive statements and evidence over the past several weeks, and the DPP will now determine if formal criminal charges will be laid. Tobago's youth are making massive waves. The Tobago YMCA Aqua Warriors delivered a stellar performance at the 5th annual Bluefins Aquatics Swim Meet in Couva, bringing home 10 medals, including 2 gold, 2 silver, and 5 bronze, plus 2 overall high point trophies. Standout swimmers Ava Lovero and Shania Olivieri led the charge, both capturing individual golds and 3rd place overall high point honors. Finally, the Tobago Apicultural Society and THTI are inviting the public to the annual Bees and Teas event at Mount St. George and today's showcase show and tell session in the Port Mall in Scarborough. The educational festival highlights local honey production, sustainability, and entrepreneurship with interactive show and tell sessions. That was your news in 90 seconds. Tune in again at 6:30 p.m. for the full newscast.
Thank you, Miss St. John, for news in 90 seconds. We want to go straight over to our birthdays this morning. And this morning, we have quite a few celebrants, and they are... Oh, let me do this one.
Okay.
There's my dog here. Our brother, also soon to be Mr. Trevin Simon. A happy birthday goes out to you, my brother. And hear from us on Youth Wednesdays, and drop by, you know what to do, bring, you know what to bring, you know how to drink. So come true, and happy birthday to you.
Next, we have Miss Roberta Julian. She is celebrating a birthday today, and from the Tobago Updates family, the team, Dwayne and I, the producers, the other workers, we want to wish you a happy birthday today. Several more years of blessings and a prosperous life ahead.
All right. And the next we have Mr. Sean Roberts. A happy birthday goes out to you. You may God continue to bless you, and also you can drop by with all your gifts and confettis and cake and ice cream. Happy birthday to you.
Next, we have Miss Patrice Jackson, looking very splendid and lavish in that photo. We hope that you receive all the love and the appreciation and the celebratory engagements that you deserve today, and that you live many more years of splendid outfits like the one you are wearing in this photo.
It's really a nice outfit. And then we have another beautiful outfit worn by and birthday celebrating is Natalia Henry. A happy birthday goes out to you. You're looking very splendid for us in that outfit, and you know, feel free to drop by and celebrate with us here at Tobago Updates. Happy birthday. And last but certainly not least, Miss Kersha Redman. We want to wish you the happiest birthday going out to you today, all the blessings, the love that you deserve, and we pray that not just today but throughout this entire week, for the rest of the month, you are celebrated in a fitting way, and that you enjoy your celebrations today. Oh yeah, certainly. And for those of you who did not make it on our birthday list this morning and is celebrating your birthday, we do want to wish you a happy birthday here on Tobago Updates, especially here at Youth Wednesday. So we have gotten to a juncture where we have to share with you what we have in store for you. I mean, of course, that's the reason why you're here this morning. So starting our first interview this morning, coming to talk about his book launch, Managing Rejection, Excelling in Your Endeavors, is none other than Pastor Terence Bain, former assemblyman and secretary in the Tobago House of Assembly, or might I say assembly member. Who do we have next? Next, we are going to be joined by Miss Giselle Donaldson-Yates and Miss Nedra Stewart, both teachers of the Scarborough Methodist Primary School, and they are going to be chatting with us about the school's May Fair. All right, that sounds very interesting. It does. All right, and last but certainly not least, we also have another book launch coming to discuss with us, you know, Fatherhood Empowerment Experience, would be Pastor Bevan Benjamin and his wife, Rhonda Thompson Benjamin, a counseling psychologist, you know, coming to share all the good stuff about their book and their book launch. So quite a lot of good stuff in store, but before we get into those interviews, we have to tell them one thing, which is to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, let your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice, you know.
Blessings have become my way.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for a night of praise, worship, and celebration.
Oh yeah.
It's sold out. The gospel concert of the century, heading this spectacular event and bringing his anointed energy and chart-topping hits. It's internationally acclaimed gospel superstar Sherwin Gardner.
Blessings gonna find me, yeah.
Saturday, 6th June at the beautiful Magdalene Grand Beach Resort, Tobago, and Sunday, 7th at Napa, Port of Spain. Sharing the stage are the powerful ministries of Blessed Messengers, Sean Daniel, Pastor Terence Bain, and Jaron Nurse, and many more. more. Bring your family, bring your friends, and be sold out for Jesus. Saturday, 6th June, Magdalena Plaza Grand Beach Resort, and Sunday, 7th June, Napa Port of Spain.
Tickets $300, but if bought by Saturday, 23rd May, cost $100 less. For more info, call 358-6397.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Coming up, spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda, in the Carnival Zone, and with some ocean inhabitants. The kids delivered, as always, on the track and in the pool. The power to make a difference, supporting great initiatives in St. Kitts and Nevis. There's a true Jamaican feel amidst the grandeur at this hotel. Another milestone for Trinidad and Tobago tourism. It's all next on this station.
And I have never, ever tried anything from the dirt oven.
Let's go to the backyard dirt oven on a Thursday.
You know, talk about authentic. On entry, I felt at home. I felt like I was going to visit my loving grandmother on a weekend. The kind of weekend where she showers you with love, stories, and food. This place is a home away from home. And just like I would do at home, I popped the question,
what you had to eat day? And boom!
coconut drops, boom, bread, boom, garlic bread, boom, hops, boom, coconut tart, boom, jam tart, and boom, something they call nuts. And just like that, Mistress Baker was ready to pop them in the oven. And don't worry, she had some help. And while we was waiting, I said, let we hear from Mistress Baker herself.
Well, we've been operating for a couple of years now. We started, this was a COVID project. We operate strictly on Tuesdays only. You don't keep stock, we only sell on Tuesdays.
Such a sweet lady. Hey, Olia, it's ready. When last you see a nice golden brown bread, sir? Backyard bakery for the win. Olia, a GT. I finally get me the oven bread with a little extra goodies on the side. You might be asking, where they're located? They are located on Bukuru, right on Nightingale Avenue, right before Racetrack Wheels if you're coming from town. Just look for the green hedge. You can't miss it. Pause. Check out the menu they one time. Honestly, guys, this is an experience I will never forget. It's a home away from home, a place filled with love, life, and most importantly, good bread.
Okay. 335, 336, 337, 338, 339.
Counting on your fingers again. No wonder you lose your business.
Grandpa, thanks for helping me start over.
You not lucky in business, you know. As a child, you tried to sell hog plum. That failed. As a teenager, you and your boyfriend tried to break into the jewelry business. But hey, where that boy end up?
He live in Aruka in the Grove. The golden one.
Oh, child, if you want to get into business, you have to have your financial records intact. But hey, do you know your numbers?
Of course, 624-333.
No, child, your numbers, your ratios, your equity ratios. You have a financial handicap.
What?
You need to see somebody about that. Anderson.
Who?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago, they offer tax and accounting services. They know about financial management.
Grandpa, I started this business with nothing.
And nothing is what you will end up with unless you call Anderson Services. Here.
Okay, this card is nice.
Yeah.
What's this?
Your rental fee. Have business will pay rent. Hot and groovy in the soca party.
Courts is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Courts Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Courts Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Nice.
If I have to call a supervisor one more time to sign off on a customer because their financials are in a mess, I will scream.
Don't scream in a bank. That have lockup in it.
It's either they're not registered properly, or you know what? We could just forget about annual returns, right?
Compliance is a bad word to most of them. Haul your compliance out of here. But let me eat.
What is wrong with Trinbagonians? I mean, it has so much help they could get out there.
Well, you know, Trinis, we don't like to spend we money.
But you know what? Be comfortable with losing we money. That making any financial
What
sense.
people should do is call Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago.
Wait, what? Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago Tax and Accounting Services. Yeah, they offer helping from registering your business to filing your tax. My lunch is over.
Wait, tell me more.
No, go and scream in the bank. You go and scream in the bank.
No, I don't get one sooner.
Donc your family taking long to play the card. Come on, I'm all in time, so good, but look at it. Yo, what school you went by?
Diane Bishops, boy.
Bishops?
Yeah,
Sure,
we know
man?
the baddest that's come out of Bishops, sir.
The baddest?
But telling her, boy.
We know the baddest, boy. One night and night, and I is the
I is the baddest. My Bishop is the
Tell
best.
everybody you're saying
Yo,
what's going on with Tola? Here what's going on? It's only one way to settle this. We'll be live on Youth Voice TV where I, your host Multibass, will be hosting the Rep Your School DJ competition where DJs will go head to head in a crazy battle to secure the title. We have cash prizes of $10,000 to come out and win and a lot of amazing prizes. Guys, what are you waiting for? Let me come out, come and showcase your skills. Come let me do some jobs.
So guys, there are two categories for DJs that are out of school up to 35 years. And for the DJs that are currently in school, it must be up to 19 years of age. So guys, get ready. It's all about Rep Your School. It's all about the DJ competition.
Who will bring the best vibes? Who can control the crowd? And who will earn the bragging rights? You get a chance to be a part and witness the rise of the new DJ generation. So this is Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ, live on Tobago Updates. Stay tuned.
Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ competition. Rep Your School.
Looking for office attire or worship apparel, then come to Tia's Classic Closet. Shopping for casual clothing or just want to dress down. Big discount, so it's you on clothing and comfortable shoes. Get some wonderful accessories to match your attire. Come to Tia's Classic Closet at 39 Montgomery Road. Opening hours daily from 9:30 to 5:30. For more information, call 710-168-99999.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan once approved, more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, let your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice, you know.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. It is Youth Wednesdays, and this interview we are going to be discussing an activity for the kids. Joining me, we have two very special ladies, Mrs. Giselle Donaldson-Yates and Miss Nidra Stewart, both teachers at the Scarborough Methodist Primary School and former teachers of mine. Today, we are going to be discussing the Scarborough Methodist School May Fair. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to Tobago Update.
Good morning, Jolie.
So, firstly, tell us a little bit about the Scarborough Methodist May Fair. Is this an event that is open to the public? Is it the first event of its kind?
Yes, it is. Usually we have our December fair, All right, but of recent time, we've noticed that the attendance and the profit we made from the fundraiser has been dwindling. And you know the economic climate that we are in right now, as well as it has been competing with class parties and parents' preparation for Christmas. So we decided that we will move the fair out of December and put it into May. So we're having our first May Fair next week, Friday, the 29th of May. And yes, it is open to the public. It's an event that we are very excited about.
Okay, so what can patrons expect when they attend the fair? What do you guys have in store? What surprises are there planned?
Well, you know, Missy, it's excitement. Firstly, it is vintage themed. We themed it so that we'll have a dress competition. So we have best dress competition. And we have roller skating. Okay, in a long time. The theme vintage is between 70s, 80s, and 90s. So they'll dress in that way. And then they'll have a section where they'll be roller skating. Then we'll have a segment where they'll have best dress, where they showcase who come in the best outfit, vintage style. We have lots of door prizes. And of course, you'll win a prize for the best dress as well. And we have our usual stalls that we'll have where they'll win prizes as well. So it's lots of fun. It's a new thing. And you know we love new things. And we are excited to see it's open to the public. I know it's the day before the holiday as well. And it's starting at 1 p.m. So even though you're at school and you want to come after 3, we are going from 1 till.
1 till.
Yes.
So what has the preparation for the event been like thus far? What have been the different contributions of the teachers, the students, and the parents as we seek to make this event a success?
All right, so coming out of the Scarborough Methodist culture, you know how the teachers are, right? So the teachers are hands on board with the whole event. Mercedes and the events committee have been researching different vintage styles so that we can show the children. We have been hyping it up in the assembly, etc. Of course, we have been bringing the parents on board because, you know, it's a partnership where education is concerned. So parents are on board, the PTA is aware of it and everything like that.
Okay. And the event is not just about being a fundraiser, it's for entertainment and enjoyment as well. So how important do you believe it is for these events to be held to strengthen school spirit and build that sense of pride and school community with the teachers, students, and even parents as well? And the public.
And it came just in time too, because usually at Christmas, Standard 5s are busy preparing for SE. So the Standard 5s are able to come to this show and enjoy themselves fully without studying. Oh, we have SCA, and many of them wouldn't come. So it's peak where it's a brain cooler just before the promotion test. So we know that each one should have fun. We want them to release themselves and have fun on that day because it's like a brain cooler just before the calm, before the storm, the big promotion test, right? So yeah.
And additionally, you know, our brand at Scarborough Methodist School, excellence. So we try to develop the all-round child. So it's not just about academics. We have a lot of things that we involve the children in, sports, other activities, you know. So that was part of the view behind having this May Fair as well.
Right. So the event is contributing towards the mission of the school.
Yes.
So what has the response been like from the public? Because it is an event that is open to the public. How have persons been responding? What has the interest level shown thus far been like?
Well, we hope after today they'll show a lot of interest and excitement because I think we have 2 students with us to showcase the outfits that may tentative that people could wear in sports. So I hope that after today and they heard about it, they'll come in. Missy, it's also will be part of the competition. You know, I'm very competitive. So I'm dressing in, let me see, the 80s, something in the 80s. I plan to come today and I plan to leave it as a surprise.
As a surprise.
Yeah. So that, you know, any parents could come as well because we have adults as well as children competition.
Right.
But you have to register before so that we'll have an idea how many persons, if adults will be there and stuff. So register before for the best dress at the school office and we will you'll be in competition with here to the adults, right?
All right, and in addition to that, as you said, it's open to the public. We are neighboring with the Anglican school, and they usually come over for a fair. So it's the same thing we expect. We invite them to come over and take part in the event. There will be food on sale, and there will be adult games as well, not just for the children. So the adults could, take part in the games and win prizes as well.
There's something for everybody.
It's going to be an exciting time.
Okay, so as we seek to wind down this interview, just remind the viewers of the dates, the time, and the location, and how they can register for the competitions.
Okay. Scarborough Methodist School on Friday the 29th, that's next week, Friday, the day before the holiday. It's 1 p.m. Our Grand May Fair starts at 1 p.m. until, so even though you're at school and you want to come, you go home, change at 3 p.m. and come straight to the fair. You can register for the best dress at the office. So you come at the office, the school's office, and register. If you want to take part in the best dress, you could come before, like the week before.
Okay.
You could come before. We want to encourage them to come before, but if you didn't come before, you can come on the day. But if you don't have a vintage outfit to wear, don't stay home. Come deck in your outfit. You don't have to be in your vintage outfit and say, I don't have a vintage, so I wouldn't come. Or retro outfit, right? So it's open to the public. All the children in Tobago, you are welcome to come. It's something new.
Everyone is welcome.
The cost is $25 for adults and $15 for children. So
Very
much affordable.
Very affordable. There are going to be lots of activities, lots of prizes to be won. So viewers, you heard it here first, and you don't have an excuse not to be there. Ladies, I want to thank you very much for joining me this morning. Thank you very much for your time and for shedding some light on this initiative.
And this was indeed a very nice moment to be interviewed by your past student.
That's correct. And we hope to see you there, Julie.
I'll try to be there.
Okay, in your roller skates?
Not too sure about that part, but I'll try to be there. And I know there are viewers who are going to be there after seeing this interview. So viewers, that is the end of this interview, but stay tuned. We do have a lot more in store for you this morning on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And of course, it is customary that I remind you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Coming up, spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda, in the Carnival Zone and with some ocean inhabitants. The kids delivered, as always, on the track and in the pool. The power to make a difference, supporting great initiatives in St. Kitts and Nevis. There's a true Jamaican feel amidst the grandeur at this hotel. Another milestone for Trinidad and Tobago tourism. It's all next on this station.
And I have never, ever tried anything from the dirt oven.
Let's go to the backyard dirt oven on a Thursday. Here now, talk about authentic. On entry, I felt at home. I felt like I was going to visit my loving grandmother on a weekend. The kind of weekend where she showers you with love, stories, and food. This place is a home away from home. And just like I would do at home, I pop the question, what you had to eat day? And boom, coconut drops, boom, bread, boom, garlic bread, boom, hops, boom, coconut tart, boom, jam tart, and boom, something they call nuts. And just like that, Mistress Baker was ready to pop them in the oven. And don't worry, she had some help. And while we was waiting, I said, let me hear from Mistress Baker herself.
Well, we've been operating for a couple of years now. We started, this was a COVID project. We operate strictly on Tuesdays only. You don't keep stock, we only sell on Tuesdays.
Such a sweet lady. Hey, Olia, it's ready. When last you see a nice golden brown bread, sir? Backyard bakery for the win. Olia, a GT. I finally get me the oven bread with a little extra goodies on the side. You might be asking, where they're located? They are located on Bukuru, right on Nightingale Avenue, right before Racetrack Wheels if you're coming from town. Just look for the green hedge. You can't miss it. Pause. Check out the menu day one time. Honestly, guys, this is an experience I will never forget. It's a home away from home, a place filled with love, life, and most importantly, good bread.
Okay. 335, 336, 337, 338, 339.
Counting on your fingers again. No wonder you lose your business.
Grandpa, thanks for helping me start over.
You not lucky in business, you know. As a child, you tried to sell hog plum. That failed. As a teenager, you and your boyfriend tried to break into the jewelry business. But hey, where that boy end up?
He live in Aruka in the Grove. The golden one.
Oh, child, if you want to get into business, you have to have your financial records intact. But hey, do you know your numbers?
Of course, 62433.
No, child, your numbers, your ratios, your equity ratios. You have a financial handicap.
What?
You need to see somebody about that. Anderson.
Who?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago, they offer tax and accounting services. They know about financial management.
Grandpa, I started this business with nothing.
And nothing is what you will end up with unless you call Anderson Services. Here.
Okay, this card is nice.
Yeah.
What's this?
Your rental fee. Have business will pay rent. Hot and groovy in the soca party.
from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays and Tobago Updates morning show. You're viewing us here live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. My name is Dwayne Nils, your favorite youth host, and this morning we are taking the discussion across a notch regarding a book launch entitled Fatherhood. It's about the fatherhood empowerment, about the fatherhood empowerment experience rather, and none other to come to talk about us with this. This topic is Pastor Bevan Benjamin, and his beautiful wife, Rhonda Thompson Benjamin, counseling psychologist. What a power couple this is. Good morning and welcome to you guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's such a pleasure to have you guys here.
Thank you for having us.
Pastor Benjamin, we have the same faith, so is his wife. And it was a pleasure to see you guys do good work.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the viewers who may not know who you guys are, just introduce yourselves and tell the viewers what you guys do.
Okay. Well, my name is Pastor Bevan Benjamin. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist pastor. I'm a husband, a father. I love people. I love, doing my best to be a blessing wherever God allows me to be. Yeah. The Bible speaks about being salt and being light. Yeah. And so wherever I go, I am intentional about adding value, adding flavor and bringing light. And with me is my lover. Hello. She's my sweetheart, my wife, my other half, bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Okay, I'm talking about Sister Rhonda. Yeah.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Rhonda Thompson Benjamin, and I am so excited to be here to share what we would have discovered, what we want to share with Tobago. As our host today would have mentioned, I am a counseling psychologist. I am the owner of Equilibrium Counseling Services, and I provide support to families here right in Tobago. So I'm happy to be here with my husband, who is also the co-author of this book, to present what we have for fathers to enrich their experiences and to also let them know that their presence is valuable.
It's such a pleasure to see young couples, like yourself, doing such great work, and more so writing a book. Your book is called, entitled Called to be Dad. What inspired the writing of this book, and what inspired you both to be co-authors? Is it that you're in having your first child, realize some nuances, some very unspoken of experiences? Share with us.
The inspiration from this book actually came when I was completing my thesis for my master's program, and I have always been interested in men and men's mental health. So the title you're welcome. So the title of the thesis was The Impact of Interpersonal and Healthcare Support on First-Time Fathers. And of course, we discovered through that research that men need support too. And when I was doing my research, I realized that there was not much research done on the experiences of first-time fathers and the type of support that they needed. So of course, it was a really interesting discovery. And my husband and I, we began speaking, how can we package this information so that we can get it out there? And I'm happy to say that we would have done numerous things, but approximately 6 years after, we have come up with this book and we are excited about it. And even in my practice, men are coming. Let me just say that. Some persons assume that men are not taking charge and control of their mental health. I can report as a counseling psychologist that men are now coming for support, and their genuine concern is to improve their family relations. And that was another motivating factor. I know for my husband, he's a first-time father, so I will let him share his experience.
And so I agree with what she said. It's true. From her study, we saw the void within as related support for first-time fathers. And so we committed that we will do our best Because I mean, it doesn't make sense to have information and do nothing about it. I think that's one of our problems as a society. We have information at our fingertips, but what do we do with said information? And so we decided to do something practical. But what the rubber hit the road when Rhonda became, when we became pregnant. And I started to realize, okay, I'm out of my depth. You know, and so I had to be mindful about being, you know, and doing my best to, you know, to really and truly cut the mustard, as they will say. And so I had to do my research, and I realized, who really taught me to be a father? Who taught my father to be a father? Who teaches any of you fathers looking on to be a father? And so let me wing it. We learn as we go. And I mean, that's how parenthood is, because each child is different and you're always learning and you're always growing. But at least the basics, sometimes that isn't there. And so we decided to do something that is practical, hands-on, that the average man could take and read. But beyond that, notice we said it's a fatherhood experience. The book is one thing, but how do we get men to read?
And that's another hurdle.
That's another, you know. And so the idea what we are talking about, I mean, based on our understanding and based on looking at the reality, is, you know, creating systems whereby, yes, the book is part of a system, but we want to help support men through this journey of fatherhood. And so it has, I mean, I have been blessed while, you know, we're going through the process. And I think even the relationship with my son has, you know, I mean, I look forward to what the future is going to hold, and I hope that God helps me to be better as the days go by.
Called to be a dad. What does it truly mean in light of what you've just shared? Because, you know, you share that there aren't much support for fathers, especially first-time fathers, and you did highlight the age-old issue of who taught who to be a father, which begs the question: what is an ideal father? What does your book shed or indicate about what a father should be, not just when the child is born, but from teenage, becoming an adult, even when she's pregnant? Walk us through some of that.
All right. So called to be dad. Now, firstly, as I would have mentioned before, I'm a pastor, and I believe God has called me to ministry. And for me, life is ministry. However, as I grew in my experience and I became a father, I realized that fatherhood is also a calling. It shouldn't be taken lightly, because the quality of our parenting will impact not only our child, but generations to come. Now, the Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Oftentimes, when we hear that, we think about house and land and car and money. And within our time, I must say, our generation, we are making more money than before. I mean, because access is there. But money is not the same as legacy. And so I believe, as a father, that call to be dad speaks to us being intentional about leaving a legacy. Legacy is what you leave in your children, not what you leave for them. All right? And so the idea is helping men to be who God will have them to be. And by doing that, by the way, our Father who art in heaven, God is our ultimate example. He's the one who, I mean, that is the example. All right? As a young people, the goat, the greatest of all time. I mean, he's the example. He's the example. And modeling after his parenting style, I think we could learn practical, you know, how to discipline with love, how to, you know, sometimes, you know, some people say you have to burn to learn. Others say you don't have to burn to learn. You could learn before. And so we could learn from the mistakes of others and the successes of others, because fathers have done good based on, bro, listen to me. A couple years ago, our ancestors were actually slaves. Who taught them to be a father? And so sometimes we are angry at our parents, and we could be a little negative, but we have to bear in mind that they did the best they could with the resources that they had. And so I want to talk to you looking online today. You see, our foreparents may not have had certain resources, but we have now. What are we going to do with said resources? You know, I think future generations are going to look back and either applaud us or cuss real bad word. Based on what we do with the resources that are made available to us right now.
Thank you so much. And as counseling psychologists, right? What are some of the support systems that are missing for new fathers?
Well, I don't like to compare, but I think comparison gives us a perspective. In our communities, whether or not a woman has her mother, community members would come and say, you know what to do with the baby, and sure the baby has on a hat. They would get information in their motherhood experience. But somehow when it comes to fathers, they don't have much of that support. And they are reduced to their finances. So your worth is based on how much you could provide. And that takes a shot to the men and their mental health, because we know the state of the economy, we know things could be hard, and even though they are trying their best, they may fall short. However, it is important for men to know that their presence matters. In fact, the research says that, once fathers are involved, children have a better chance for academic success. When fathers are involved, it reduces delinquency, and even in my research, as I mentioned before, with my thesis for my master's program, I would have discovered that sometimes professionals see men as secondary parents, not primary parents. So sometimes men come into the clinic, right? I'm not sure about here in Tobago, this study was done in Trinidad, but the woman is addressed. So what does that say to a man? What does it say about the role of men?
So can I ask a question?
Sure.
This way and then this way.
Yes.
That's okay.
Does the book answer the question as to why fathers are absent, based on what you just shared in terms of the pressure of the first-time fathers being reduced to what they can provide? Is it that the answer is that because they foresee that they may not have the means to provide the best life possible, that the easy way out is to just not be there at all? Does your book address that?
I think that's a good question. And throughout some of the chapters, there are some reasons why men may not be as involved. But more than that, it provides practical lessons about how to be involved. So there are many reasons why men would not be involved. We spoke about the lack of mentorship and their confidence. Sometimes they feel as though this is something that is too difficult. I don't have the tools. And sometimes that, when they leave or their absence is felt, sometimes we interpret it as they don't care. But again, especially in my practice, I would have discovered that they actually care, but they don't have the tools. So the book provides those tools.
All right. What can the readers expect, and where can they find this book?
Okay, so the readers can expect practical tools to navigate different phases of the early years of parenthood.
So just for the book, I've seen two books here. I'm seeing a smaller book and a bigger book. Is it?
So this is the main book. So this is the book that fathers would read, and this is the workbook. So when you read each chapter, you would have some reflective questions. Now we ensured that the book wasn't too big, so men could feel as though this is something that I could read, this is something that I can complete. So it really talks about how to discipline with love. Right? How to build your character as a man, how to support the mother of your child, so that you all could build healthy connections, so your child could really thrive.
All right. We have but a short time. So unfortunate we didn't get to touch some very hot topics, but we should bring you back, guys, again to delve deeper into this very good book. So what is the cost of getting this book, and where can we access this book?
Okay, so first of all, let me say that our launch is at the Scarborough Library on Sunday, and
this Sunday
coming, the 24th, from 5 to 7 p.m. and we're inviting the general public to be there. There's no cost attached. Of course, if you want to purchase the book, we will have the books present. So the book itself will be on that night, right? It would be $140, right? and the workbook would be $100 on that night. So you would get the entire package, right, for $240. However, it is available at Books and Office Supplies and also other bookstores here in Tobago that we would let you know on the night. And at that time, it would be $150 and $135. So we are inviting persons to come out, secure your book. If you do not want to purchase it for yourself, there are other persons who need it. So we are inviting persons to be present. It would be a wonderful experience. We are looking forward to meeting all of you.
Pastor Benjamin and Sister Benjamin, I want to thank you guys for joining us this morning. Listen, this is such a great thing. I will do my best to be there to support your book launch on Sunday. Guys, you know, for those who are interested, grandmothers, mothers to be, fathers to be, come on and support, right? And, you know, let us be good fathers now, you know, in advance, right? So guys, thank you for being here, right? So unfortunately, this brings us to the end of this interview, but stay tuned. We are coming up next with another interview. But before we go, we must tell you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Blessings have to come my way.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for a night of praise, worship, and celebration.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's sold out. The gospel concert of the century, heading this spectacular event and bringing his anointed energy and chart-topping hits. It's internationally acclaimed gospel superstar Sherwin Gardner.
Blessings gonna find me, yeah.
Saturday, 6th June at the beautiful Magdalene Grand Beach Resort, Tobago, and Sunday, 7th at Napa, Port of Spain. Sharing the stage are the powerful ministries of Blessed Messengers, Sean Daniel, Pastor Terrence Baines, and Jaron Nurse. And many more. Bring your family, bring your friends, and be sold out for Jesus. Saturday, 6th June, Magdalena Plaza Grand Beach Resort, and Sunday, 7th June, Napa, Port of Spain.
Tickets $300, but if bought by Saturday, 23rd May, cost $100 less. For more info, call 358-6397.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. It is Youth Wednesdays, and Dwayne and I are your hosts for this morning. Following up on our first interview today, we would have spoken to Mrs. Yates and Ms. Stewart about the Scarborough Methodist May Fair. And now we have two students joining us in studio just to showcase the theme and some outfit inspirations that you can wear at this event. They are on screen now, modeling, displaying their outfits very well. The theme is vintage, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. So you have full creative freedom with your outfits, and the public is expected to patronize the event fully.
Very creative.
And they have a little choreography going on.
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of modeling and showcasing taking place. So you don't have the excuse that you don't know what to wear. We have the students here displaying specifically what the theme, what the interpretation of the theme should be. Just a reminder, the event is on Friday the 29th of May, that's next week Friday, from 1 p.m. at the Scarborough Methodist Primary School, 1 p.m. till. So you have time to finish school, go home, change, and then come to the fair. There are lots of door prizes to be won, a lot of games for both adults and children. But now we move over to our next interview. We are joined currently by Mr. Dion Rodriguez. He is a tutor Tobago officer, and this morning he's going to be chatting with us about a number of different issues and events that are affecting teachers within the Tobago space. Good morning, Mr. Rodriguez, and welcome to Tobago Updates.
A pleasant good morning to you, and a pleasant good morning to Dwayne. I must say also a pleasant good morning to the listening public and to the teachers throughout the Tobago space and to Trinidad and Tobago by extension.
So teachers across Trinidad and Tobago have been voicing their concerns regarding the back pay issue. What is the current situation specifically affecting the Tobago teachers, and how has it leaked over into their personal and professional lives?
Okay, thank you for that question. Well, leaking over into your personal life, as you know, in the public space, things are constantly increasing. The cost of living is increasing. But I must say what would have transpired since April 2025, when Tutor would have signed that agreement with the CPU, is that it's only at the end of April this month, April last month, that teachers were able to get their adjusted salaries, as well as that which was outstanding for March. So what happened at the end of April is that teachers would have received that adjustment in salary and a slight arrears because it was not paid in March simultaneously with our counterparts in Trinidad. As it stands presently, however, there's no information on the back pay. What can be said, we had Tutor had its statutory division meeting yesterday, and a similar case is presented to us, as was the situation when I visited a Ministry of Education meeting, in Trinidad last Thursday, in that preparations have been done, the calculations is being done, checks have been started in Trinidad. They're saying in Trinidad that they are 40% complete the check-in process, and they await instructions from the Minister of Education to determine when funds are going to be released for payment of same. It's a similar situation in Tobago, so they have started processing and doing the necessary calculations and await the release of funds. But Tutor is saying, listen, this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable, one, because we are receiving no communication from the Minister of Education. We are receiving no communication from anyone at all as to at what point in time would teachers receive their back pay. The last thing that was said in the public space is that it's going to take place in the first quarter. The first quarter has long gone and nothing is being said where teachers' back pay is concerned.
Okay. Compounding this problem of back pay, we also have the issue of non-classification of Tobago teachers' sick leave. Explain to the viewers what exactly is this problem, how does it affect the Tobago teachers, and why it remains a major concern.
Well, extended sick leave is a provision that have been a provision that teachers have, or all public servants have, as a matter of fact, where you are entitled to 14 days sick and 14 days casual. Outside of your 14 days sick, what happens is that if something occurs, you can go on what is referred to as extended sick leave. But that extended sick leave must be classified. As teachers, our extended sick leave is presently being classified under the office of the Ministry of Education, under the Minister of Education. So it's done at the Ministry of Education in Trinidad. You know of the fiasco. It has been shared in the space where Tobago at a tripartite meeting between TUTA, the Ministry of Education, and the CPO, an agreement was made for the devolution of authority to be given to Tobago House of Assembly to classify extended sick leave. That was done since 2024. We are now in 2026 and the cabinet note has still not been produced and approval has still not been given to the Tobago House of Assembly for Tobago to start to classify extended sick leave where teachers are concerned. As you know, the story with the box with over 200 applications that has come to Tobago. At a meeting with officials from the CPO office, they were unaware that so many leave was not classified in this space, but what has transpired, the division would have developed a registry so that they ensure that they know exactly what was in the box that came to Tobago, and the intention is, based on the meeting that we had yesterday, the intention is to return the box to Trinidad. Now, I am a bit wary about returning the box to Trinidad because it came to Tobago because of a reason, because Trinidad was negligent in the business of Tobago teachers. However, it's my understanding that whether we receive a cabinet note or not, that cabinet note is going to be dated, meaning that the delegated authority is going to be given to the Tobago House of Assembly from a particular date. What is happening with those extended sick leave applications is that we have applications dated as far as 15 years old, 10 years old, in some cases almost 20 years old, that has not been classified. And as a result of that, even though we receive the delegated authority as the Tobago House of Assembly, there are still going to be applications present in that box that is now going to be returned to Trinidad to be classified. We have received commitment from the Ministry of Education that they're going to treat it with a level of urgency, and it's my intention and it's my hope that as the Tobago officer, once that box reached back to the Ministry of Education, we were told by next week it's going to be in Trinidad, that they're going to start to address extended sick leave for Tobago teachers, because in the absence of that, teachers in the Tobago space are suffering. Teachers cannot get their increments. There are persons that have retired and cannot receive their superannuation benefits for the simple reason that there's extended sick leave and everything is just hold up. Persons are suffering because of this simple issue, and we are saying as an association, enough is enough. Let us deal with this situation with a level of urgency to bring relief to the teachers in the Tobago space that are suffering as a result of non-classification of extended sick leave. Teachers should not be allowed, or teachers should not be punished because they were ill.
All right. We feel the pain and the passion there, Mr. Rodriguez. You know, you mentioned that the sick leave, the classification of sick leave is currently resident in Trinidad on paper still, despite the intention of Parliament to delegate its powers to the Tobago House of Assembly. What has been the communication from the ministry as to what is the hold up as to why the cabinet note is it that the cabinet note has been produced and not passed, or is there a review? Who is to blame for this based on the information that you have?
So the cabinet note is to be done. Well, if we were to backtrack, sometime in the mid last year, the immediate past Tobago officer would have been working on this assiduously. And I must say commendation to him on the work that was done. Now, what would have transpired in this space is that the former secretary would have indicated, not the present secretary, but the former secretary would have indicated that Tobago, yes, Tobago has the authority to classify leaves, and everyone was up in arms and they are joyful and they are happy that this is taking place. And we realized that, listen, this is not so. Someone in the ministry would have written a letter without authority. What needs to be done? There needs to be a cabinet note. Yes. From my understanding, there was no attempt to create a cabinet note. There's no evidence, there's no information in this space that a cabinet note was done and sent to cabinet, and cabinet would have requested further information. My information based being in the meeting at the Ministry of Education last week, Thursday, they are in the process of doing that cabinet note. The PS would have indicated that they're in the process of gathering some documents and so on to that adds or goes along with the cabinet note to get it done. So I am saying it's just simply a matter of will and a shared determination to get this done and to get it done urgently. And we are calling upon the relevant authorities, the persons that are responsible, to address it with some level of urgency, because persons' lives are being affected.
Right. And we definitely hear that. So, so intentions have been indicated from the powers that be, both from the permanent secretary, and I presume the line minister, to rectify this issue in short order.
Yes, that's the intention. They said that they're going to work on it with some level of urgency. But let me tell you something, and I get emotional about this extended sick leave, because sometimes what is happening, I feel there are variations in urgency. As a teacher, when we talk about urgency, it's because we have specific deadlines to meet. Whether you like it or not, I've been a teacher for the last 28 years. And every year at the start of April, exams have to be done. And you have to ensure that the SBAs are submitted in a timely manner to ensure that the students get their marks so that they can pass the exam. But sometimes in the public space, it appears that urgency doesn't have a specific timeline. It doesn't have a specific date. So they're saying with urgency, and we have a meeting scheduled for the 18th of June. We were told that at that meeting we are going to get further update, and I'm hoping that when we go back to that meeting, it's not just a set of rhetoric again, and that we keep going on and on, because we are saying that enough is enough.
Okay.
So in the midst of these two very pertinent and urgent issues, Tutor is also hosting their Tobago Teachers Get Together. So on a more positive note, we can focus on that, and you can...
Well, glad to see you smile, Mr. Rodriguez. Glad to see you.
Yes. No, but honestly, I get emotional about certain things, because these teachers call me and I can hear their hurt, I could feel their pain as their representative, and sometimes it's just a little too much these teachers are bearing, and we are calling on the authorities to address that. But yes, I must say, as you all know in the public space, every year we honor our retirees. These are teachers that would have labored in the vineyard for years, and they have come to this transitional period. I don't say it's retirement or relaxation, but they are at a transitional period at this time, and they are moving on to another phase in their life. So this year we have the Tobago Teachers Get Together. We start with a webinar on May the 30th, right here on Tobago Updates. It's going to be streamed live on Tobago Updates. We have our church service, because every year we have a icon that we honor. This year our icon is Mr. Winston James, who have been with the association way before the formation of Tutor. And then on the Thursday, Corpus Christi, this mark your calendar. Every year at Corpus Christi we have our awards function where we honor our retirees, where we honor our icon, and we say thank you for the work that you have done. And we have our professional development. The approval has already been received from the Tobago House of Assembly. So we are calling all teachers to be at the Nutrition Building on the 5th of June 2026, where we have our professional development. This year our theme is a growth mindset, and we encourage all teachers, because that's another aspect of Tutor where we encourage professionalism. And on the Saturday we have our dinner and dance, and on the Friday night we have our lime at Signal Hill Secondary School. So we invite everyone to be a part of the celebrations. You're going to be seeing it being shared in this space. Tobago Teachers Get Together. We are in the 86th year. This is our 86th anniversary of the Tobago Teachers Get Together, and we invite all teachers to be a part, especially at the professional development. We have a little surprise for you. We have something special for you at the Tobago Teachers Get Together professional development. So teachers, ensure that you are there on the 5th of June 2026. Thank you.
All right. We want to thank Mr. Rodriguez for coming on to discuss some of the issues if teachers are currently facing across the country, and they get together in light of the mess that they are facing, and we empathize with our teachers, and we hope that this issue is resolved in short order and bring some relief to our teachers. Jolie, this brings us to the end of Tobago Updates.
It does. Youth Wednesdays.
Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates morning show, freeing us live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. Up next we have Good Morning Tobago with Miss Chanel Felix. But before we go, we want to tell you to do one thing, which is to
share the live, share the live, share the live.
See you next week.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
What we did is post-harvest handling and safety in fresh produce. The reason for this is because at times, farmers do all the good agricultural practices in the field, and then when they reach or harvest the produce, there you see spoilage. So what we did, we geared our workshop to allow farmers to know the post-harvesting practices, which will prevent spoilage or damage to their goods.
We dealt with storage, type of storage you need, temperature management, how to control incompatibility with the commodities that could spoil one another, how to avoid taking to the market stuff that is not good, and remind them of their harvesting practices, what they should do, the time of the day they should harvest, the containers they must use. The session was really about letting farmers know that they themselves are responsible for the safety and for the quality of the produce that they would put on the offer for sale, whether for retail or whether they are selling it themselves.
Farmers, of course, they were the main focus. Students, and then we have persons who are potential farmers. So sometimes going into something, you want them to have a jump start, to have the best way in.
I learned a lot of things that I really didn't know about tomatoes, having vibration injuries, and how to properly harvest tomatoes and other crops, and how to see different defective crops and etc. So it was very informative. I enjoyed it a lot.
I learned a couple new things alright, especially in handling the produce and especially storage also, right? Because most of my losses is like when I leave the garden, I get less than I actually produce in the garden. So the handling of the produce actually will help me. Being very mindful what you're putting into the production, and be mindful how you harvest, you transport it, how you store it, how you keep it cool, and what you put it next to when you're transporting it.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Yeah.
morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. This morning, we jump straight ahead into our conversations, and I have the privilege this morning of chatting with Mr. Christoph Miranda, who is the co-founder of Next Step Solution Limited. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Chanel, and thank you for having me this morning. I'm happy, and it's a privilege to be able to take this time this morning to share with Tobago and the nation in general what Next Step Solutions really is about, and more specifically our upcoming AI Productivity Power Workshop.
Right, well, we jump off right there. Tell us a bit about what Next Step Solution Limited is truly about.
So Next Step Solutions is actually incorporated as Next Step Corporate Development Solutions. It was conceptualized essentially to help young professionals, experienced personnel, even the layman understand and build confidence in their own profession, in developing and finding a means and a manner in which they can fit into the world of work. It's not about getting rich quick, it's not about magic computers fixing every problem. It's about you learning to utilize the tools that are in front of you, that are accessible to you in your daily life, and maximizing your productivity, your efficiency, and your capacity.
Right, and AI has been integrated into many different areas. Each and every industry currently is finding a way to integrate AI for efficiency and for productivity. Tell us a bit about this particular AI workshop that's coming up, and what are some of the areas of businesses that are being targeted?
So the AI Productivity Power Workshop is really centered around any individual who is now trying to get into the world of work, who is trying to build their own confidence in identifying their skill set. It's built for the individual who is not necessarily knowledgeable of technology and artificial intelligence at a whole scale, and it's built for those persons who have developed their skill set, who are versed in their fields, and who still feel as though they can improve efficiency, maximize output.
Right, and AI is being used in healthcare, investing, when we talk about trade. Tell us particularly for the persons who are very averse to utilizing the technology, why is it important for them in this day to embrace the AI technology?
So it's most important to understand that AI is not a replacement, it's a tool. It is mostly to have these tools integrated into our society, really because they're there to make our lives easier, to help development progress across the nation. When you think about the fears that some people may have, think about the calculator. Before that, we had beads, we were across the count. Calculators don't take away jobs, help you process quicker. And it's the same thing with AI. Across the several different fields of study, AI is there really to help us fine-tune our efficiency.
Right, but regarding the fact that you said that AI is not here to replace persons, truth is, with AI technology, many interactions, tasks, and activities can become obsolete with AI, particularly as it pertains to data storage, data management, data analysis. How does one remain competitive in an era where AI seems to be even more intelligent than human intelligence?
So the key thing to remember is that AI doesn't think for itself. AI is a compilation of human thoughts, of human data, and what it does is ultimately put together what is the potentially best outcome for your questioning, for your data storage, for your analysis. However, at the end of the day, if an accountant uses, let's say, cloud to help put together his books, No bank is going to take cloud as your professional financials. That is because at the end of the day, it still is, it is there in a space that human error is what it pulls from.
Right.
It doesn't think for itself, it pulls what we think. Simplest term to use is garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
Humans put in garbage on the internet every day. A couple of years ago, we were concerned about Google. I'm sure even you, Chanel, have Googled my big toe hurting me, and Google tell you you might have cancer. Right? So it's the same concept. It's the exact same concept. AI gives you what you train it to give you, what we as a human population train it to give us. So it is still susceptible to several flaws, which is why us as humans are really necessary to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Right. And tell us a bit about the wide-ranging services being provided by Next Step Solutions Limited.
So Next Step Solutions, as I said, is really the key to the professional building confidence. AI Productivity Power Workshop is really just the start. We are building out products that would speak to financial literacy, something that I myself in a personal capacity and in a separate professional capacity have done several times over. We are working with business consultancy. We're dealing with resource development, general business solutions. We're looking at coaching and mentoring young professionals, even seasoned veterans. We're dealing with corporate training, human resource, personal training, financial development, financial stability. We are not, again, in the business of trying to get you rich. We're trying to help you understand how you could utilize your tools to become confident in sustaining yourself.
And even as it pertains to some of the veterans in the business in Tobago, in different industries, some of them are older and maybe a bit resistant to embracing this particular technology. They may say, well, what can these young people teach me? I've been in business for so long. My business has always been successful. What are you bringing to the table that's different?
So the beauty of a thought pattern like that is to just look at the Tobago economy at present. Majority of businesses, how many times have we seen physical businesses close in the past decade? That's because the pattern and the tools, the systems that were developed back then for those seasoned business persons have changed. They have changed. Even here in a news station, I'm positive 15, 20 years ago, AI might not have been used. But now AI can help reporters draft scripts. It can help each of us improve activity of video editing, of data collection, of analysis, verification. It helps, but we are still here. The newsroom is still here functioning.
Right. And tell us a bit about how persons can book their slot in this upcoming AI workshop.
So it's real simple. You can go to, we have a link on Facebook, Next Step Solutions Limited, as well as a link placed in our Instagram page at Next Step Solutions Ltd. And for persons who are getting trouble accessing that link to register and pay, they can contact me at 778-2742. Again, that is 778-2742.
Excellent. And we look forward to this being particularly interesting and successful for persons who have never thought about how they can actually integrate AI into what they're doing. And whether it's a super small business like a supermarket, a mini mart, a clothing retail store, even a barber shop, you know, persons may not even think about how they can truly integrate AI to improve what they are currently doing. Tell us a bit about some of the areas that you think persons overlook where AI can come in and truly help them to expand their product offering.
So I think in the general field of administration particularly, and I'm not sure, maybe it's because of our culture, but particularly where automation is concerned, We have platforms like Copilot. We utilize Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Office daily. And we have platforms like Copilot that can scan our emails for us and put together a to-do list, prioritize our tasks for the day. Instead of us identify things that we may have missed in our emails, summarize emails so that we don't spend 3 hours sifting through emails and then missing priority items, and then 2 weeks later, missed business opportunity, missed professional opportunity.
Right. And, finally, as we wrap this conversation, tell us about why it's important for businesses to make the investment, because the fee is only $350 for the session. It's virtual, so persons can log in from anywhere they are. Why is it important for persons to make this investment in themselves as well as their business?
So, again, leading back to the concept of confidence, I genuinely believe that without confidence, we reach nowhere, personally or business-wise. If I came here today and I was, next step is you're not gonna buy into what I have to offer. The products that Next Step Solutions offers gives you that confidence. So hold your chest high, look up, and speak. Because Next Step Solution is about solving today and shaping tomorrow. It's as simple as that.
Excellent. And we look forward to this particular workshop for the young entrepreneurs, persons that have an idea and wondering how they can execute it as well. And so we want to thank you so much for being here this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Blessings have come my way.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for a night of praise, worship, and celebration.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's sold out. The gospel concert of the century, heading this spectacular event and bringing his anointed energy and chart-topping hits. It's internationally acclaimed gospel superstar Sherwin Gardner.
Blessings gonna find me. Yeah.
Saturday, 6th June at the beautiful Magdalene Grand Beach Resort, Tobago, and Sunday, 7th at Napa, Port of Spain. Sharing the stage are the powerful ministries of Blessed Messengers, Sean Daniel, Pastor Terrence Baines, and Jaron Nurse. And many more. Bring your family, bring your friends, and be sold out for Jesus. Saturday, 6th June, Magdalena Plaza Grand Beach Resort, and Sunday, 7th June, Napa, Port of Spain.
Tickets $300, but if bought by Saturday 23rd May, cost $100 less. For more info, call 358-6397.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, let your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice, you know.
Coming up, spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda in the Carnival Zone and with some ocean inhabitants. The kids delivered as always on the track and in the pool. The power to make a difference, supporting great initiatives in St. Kitts and Nevis. There's a true Jamaican feel amidst the grandeur at this hotel. Another milestone for Trinidad and Tobago tourism. It's all next on this station.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host Chanel Felix, and ladies and gentlemen, you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. And this morning we have the privilege of chatting with a man that is no stranger to us here on Tobago Updates. We are talking to the man that we call Pastor Terry Baines, former assemblyman, and this morning we are chatting to him in his capacity as author. We are talking about Managing Rejection, the official book launch. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
It's a pleasure to have you here with us this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You know, usually sometimes we're talking to you in your capacity as bishop, we talk to you in your capacity as assemblyman.
Yeah.
This morning we are chatting with you in your capacity as author of one of your books, Managing Rejection. Excelling in your endeavors. Good morning again, and tell us a bit about the book.
Yes. Well, I published this book first in 2019. So what we're actually doing on Sundays are rich, but I never really did a launch per se of the book. At the time, there was, you know, most times, I think the power of publications and even the power of productions or pieces of whether it be music or anything has to do in large part with the personal experience of the individuals that are producing the work. At the time, you know, we were doing some stuff happening in the church, transitions were taking place and so on, you know, and I had a collection of experiences that I thought putting that in writing may assist somebody. From the month of May 14 to be exact, 2024 to present, there's been some other developments in my life personally that pretty much demanded that there be a re-emergence and another push in putting the information back in the space, not just for personal aggrandizement or anything like that, but also because so many people have been the victims of rejection and have not been able to recover from it, have not been able to excel, have not been able to maximize on their potentials and so on. Some people, one bout of rejection destroyed them forever. Some people come from a reference point of rejection as a constant, you know. And I think that part of my responsibility, and I suspect many others as well, is to see what we can do to better the environment in which we live. That may be, you know, sharing some of your stories with the hope that what you share can assist people either dealing with it, or people that have come out of it, or people that are intending to go into it. You understand?
Yeah, understood. No, even within your transition away from frontline politics, you have remained very visible. Every time I turn on the radio, I hear about you hosting an event or being a guest on some major platform, particularly as it pertains to gospel music, still spreading the word of God and just being so actively engaged here in Tobago and in Trinidad as well, and even globally. Has this book and the writings of it helped you to make such a transition, to still keep going, still be visible, still be engaged,
certainly.
even opening new doors?
Right. The sub-caption, if you want to call it that, is excelling in your endeavors, you know, and the book really attempts to let us appreciate that rejection is a reality. It is a part of life. It is not going to go away. You know, and if you live long enough, you will experience it at some point on some level, right? So what we are attempting to do in the book is to say that when you would have experienced that, that must not assassinate, that must not terminate all the dreams and aspirations that you have as an individual. In fact, it should rather serve as propulsion for you to get to the next place. One of my main references in the book was Jesus Christ. And not necessarily from a religious standpoint, you know, but Jesus, as one of the most prolific teachers of his day, goes back to his environment, to his village, so to speak. And the people that grew up with him, his peers and so on, acknowledge that he had something very special. In fact, they said that there was nobody that ever taught anything like that. But in the same breath, the narrative says that they became offended in him, and it was because they were familiar. It was because they are accustomed to him and that kind of thing. So it's like you, for instance, let us say you were in a particular village in Tobago. You may have gone abroad and studied and whatever else. You return. It has some people just would not accept your PhD or would not accept your degree or whatever because they know you. You understand? So now you as the individual have to manage it and say, okay, these people or this group or this environment does not accept or appreciate what I bring. Let me move to another place. Perhaps somebody else can benefit from what I'm doing. In fact, rejection in one place really is opportunity in another.
Right. And, you know, when it comes to the management or interaction, engagement of human beings,
yes,
there would always be conflicts.
Certainly.
Because we are subjected to our natural human proclivities that has to do with selfishness, jealousy, competitiveness, and all these other things that make human interactions difficult, but yet colorful. These are things that persist in the working environment, in politics, in the church.
Sure.
How has this book and the writings of it, when you dusted it off and went back to it, was I being prophetic here? How has that helped you to maneuver?
Well, the thing is, I won't say
back
prophetic.
Into this space.
I won't say prophetic because at the time I wrote it, I was dealing with some rejection issues at that time.
Right.
And so, to my mind, those matters at that time were the epitome of rejection matters for me at that time. I could not have seen the future. I could not have seen, you know, close to a decade further on what I will be involved in and the impact of this writing. You understand? And I think one of the things that really helped is a friend of mine called, you know, and I really, at the time when the call was made, I was really expecting, you know, somebody to jump in the pity party with me. You know, when you're treating with your hurt and your pain and your bitterness and stuff, you like to choose the therapy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you like to choose the therapy that is comfortable. And so I was expecting, and she said to me, "Did you not write a book entitled Managing Rejection? You know, perhaps you need to take your own advice." You understand? I mean, it was acid, you know, you know, and it wasn't what I wanted to hear, nor did I accept it at the moment it was given. But the bottom line is, it is exactly what I needed to hear. You understand? So that has helped significantly. And then I've seen several other persons, some of my colleagues, you know, even in the same profession and so on, that have gone through some of the things. And I believe that right now, that these treaties can assist people. Notwithstanding as well, I think that, you know, we have a responsibility to try and better the environment in which we exist. You know, God has been very gracious to us, given us certain skills and abilities, allows us to have different types of experiences. And we should not just mind those things. When I say mind, just have them and do nothing with them. You know, there is no reason for you as a young lady to have experienced some things in your development as a young woman and so on, and seeing other young ladies coming along and you can't share something. If they accept it, fine. They don't, you know, you have no control over that. But you're in your mind, you are hoping that somebody coming after you would be better, would be stronger, would be more successful. That is how we build this society. That is how we build the kind of Tobago that we're really talking about. We want everybody to be healthy and happy and that kind of thing. And so I think my role is, for me, to not have an altar of pain over disappointment and those kinds of things, but rather to use those things and see how I can encourage people to be a blessing to them and so that they can be better.
Right. Let's talk a bit about managing rejection in the home, because a lot of persons, what you see them acting out, stems from hurt from rejection within their household, whether it be from their siblings, their parents, their spouse. Tell us about the balance between the culture where we have a tough love type of approach and feeling as though, you know, we have been rejected, whether it's because we look different from the rest of our family, or we're not as successful, or we don't meet particular expectations, or we have disappointed the family with certain decisions that we've made.
I mean, it is a myriad of issues that contribute to rejection that can be prevalent in a home environment. You understand? And a lot of my views are referenced in Bible stories. You know, without sometimes people their lack of appreciation for the Bible is ignorance that is fueled by superstition and those kinds of things, right? But the Bible really has stories that treat with every kind of issue in life. You know? We are talking about rejection in the home. There is a story with a father who has 11 boys, right? 11 boys. He gets a son in his old age. He calls him Joseph. And the Bible tells us clearly that he loved him more than all the others. And not only that, but he demonstrated the love by how he treated this boy. He went out and got a coat that he did for none of the other children. You understand? And the rest of the family is seeing this. You understand? They see the treatment. They might have drink Lipton tea while Joseph might be drinking Bigelow. You understand what I'm saying? But they see it. And so it brought friction and problems to the point where at one point they got so upset because on top of the fact that he's been treated this way by his father, and you know the father's affection and affirmation, especially among the boys, is of paramount importance. He begins to dream. You understand? He begins to dream.
And he's loud with his dreams.
That is the thing. And he's not dreaming stupidness neither. You understand? He's dreaming things that has significant implications that kind of aggravates the womb. You see, aggravates the womb. Sometimes if I say, no, let me just kill you and forget about this thing. You understand? And so that story had so much impact on that particular chapter, right? In my mind, that there are parents that some of them do not have the skill to manage their varying affections for the children for whatever reason. That is an age-old story. There are some, I mean, and we can't go back and blame parents because I believe that parents would have functioned based on the information they had, based on their own experiences. Because oftentimes, if you have been rejected and hurt by a particular parent, that can form your basis for parenting going forward. You understand? So you can treat you can treat children the same way you have been treated. That is what one of the reasons they call things generational curses. Not mystical and magical, you know. It's just some consistency of some negative experiences that prevail, you know. And so the lady who did the graphic design on the book. She's going to be speaking briefly about rejection in the family because she has a wealth of experience to talk about and that kind of thing. But the thing about it is the practical solutions that we raise that somebody can engage in to try and treat with it. You understand? The book does not attempt at all, you know, to be clinical, you know, because I have no training in that area. But there are some practical things that you can do to treat with it.
Okay. And, you know, just to remind persons that this book was written in 2019. So this was even before the AI revolution. So this was written off the top of your head. This is your 100% intellectual property, right? And so we know that we're getting the good stuff with this one. So before we wrap up our conversation this morning, remind our viewers about the official launch that's happening, time, date, location, and how they can be a part of it.
Yes. So it's a relaunch, as we said. It happens this Sunday evening, 6 p.m. at the Lowlands Multipurpose Facility. Of course, the entrance is free. And we're going to have some short presentations from individuals on specific chapters. Mr. Ted Jones will be talking about managing rejection in the church. My friend and former Assemblyman Sonny Craig will be talking about managing rejection in public life. The graphic designer for the book, coming from Trinidad, will be talking about managing rejection in the home. I mean, I will put my thoughts in there as well. We'll have a spoken word piece by Mr. Cleon McPherson. It just promises to be, in my view, a very inspiring and uplifting time. So this Sunday at 6 p.m. Lowlands Multipurpose. I want to also say very quickly that my strongest desire for the event is not just to promote this book, but to encourage persons there who may have so many different experiences that they can share and pass on in whatever way, whether by writing. I mean, this 2026 we have podcasts and all kind of thing, because we want to make sure that our experiences do not go to waste. The cemetery must not be the most expensive place on the planet, you know, where people die with all the dreams and aspirations, and, you know, it must not be the most powerful and the most virtuous place. We must try our best to empty ourselves, you know, to make sure that we impact the society in a very positive way.
Understood. And finally, as we close, where can persons get the book?
So the book will from tomorrow. From tomorrow, the book will be available at. I want to make sure I keep forgetting the name of the bookstore. It is TLH Mall, right? I want to make sure and say it right this time in Jesus' name. Yes, you know, one of the things that is occurring to me now that I am in my 60s, I have these gaps, you know, and they tell me that I need to write more. So it's located at the TLH Plaza, just opposite the Esplanade. Books and Office Supplies.
Right.
So you can go to Books and Office Supplies from tomorrow. The book will be available and it's $100 value. It's a very simple read. It's just 56 pages. You can read that in one sitting, you know.
All right. Excellent. Well, we want to thank you so much for being here this morning, and we look forward to sharing with our audience about managing rejection and the event that's happening on Sunday at the Lowlands Multipurpose Center. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back after this. So see you soon.
And I have never, ever tried anything from the dirt oven. Let's go to the backyard dirt oven on a Thursday. Here now, talk about authentic. On entry, I felt at home. I felt like I was going to visit my loving grandmother on a weekend. The kind of weekend where she showers you with love, stories, and food. This place is a home away from home. And just like I would do at home, I pop the question, what you had to eat day? And boom, coconut drops. Boom, bread. Boom, garlic bread. Boom, hops. Boom, coconut tart. Boom, jam tart. And boom, something they call nuts. And just like that, Mistress Baker was ready to pop them in the oven. And don't worry, she had some help. And while we was waiting, I said, let we hear from Mistress Baker herself.
Well, we've been operating for a couple of years now. We started, this was a COVID project. We operate strictly on Tuesdays only. You don't keep stock, we only sell on Tuesdays.
Such a sweet lady. Hey, Olia, it's ready. When last you see a nice golden brown bread, sir? Backyard bakery for the win. Olia, a GT. I finally get me the oven bread with a little extra goodies on the side. You might be asking, where they're located? They are located on Bukuru, right on Nightingale Avenue, right before Racetrack Wheels if you're coming from town. Just look for the green hedge. You can't miss it. Pause. Check out the menu day one time. Honestly, guys, this is an experience I will never forget. It's a home away from home, a place filled with love, life, and most importantly, good bread.
Blessings have come my way.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for a night of praise, worship, and celebration.
Oh, yeah.
It's sold out. The gospel concert of the century, heading this spectacular event and bringing his anointed energy and chart-topping hits. It's internationally acclaimed gospel superstar Sherwin Gardner.
This is gonna find me here.
Saturday, 6th June at the beautiful Magdalene Grand Beach Resort, Tobago, and Sunday, 7th at Napa, Port of Spain. Sharing the stage are the powerful ministries of Blessed Messengers, Sean Daniel, Pastor Terrence Baines, and Jaron Nurse. And many more. Bring your family, bring your friends, and be sold out for Jesus. Saturday, 6th June, Magdalena Plaza Grand Beach Resort, and Sunday, 7th June, Napa, Port of Spain.
Tickets $300, but if bought by Saturday, 23rd May, cost $100 less. For more info, call 358-6397.
Looking for office attire or worship apparel, then come to Tia's Classic Closet. Shopping for casual clothing or just want to dress down. Big discount, so it's you on clothing and comfortable shoes. Get some wonderful accessories to match your attire. Come to Tia's Classic Closet at 39 Montgomery Road. Opening hours daily from 9:30 to 5:30. For more information, call 710-168-99999.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans. Let your goals grow. Whoa. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice, you know.
Okay. 335, 336, 337, 338, 339.
Counting on your fingers again. No wonder you lose your business.
Grandpa, thanks for helping me start over.
You not lucky in business, you know. As a child, you tried to sell hog plum. That failed. As a teenager, you and your boyfriend tried to break into the jewelry business. But hey, where that boy end up?
He live in Aruka in the Grove. The golden one.
Oh, child, if you want to get into business, you have to have your financial records intact. But hey, do you know your numbers?
Of course, 624 333.
No, child, your numbers, your ratios, your equity ratios. You have a financial handicap.
What?
You need to see somebody about that. Anderson.
Who?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago, they offer tax and accounting services. They know about financial management.
Grandpa, I started this business with nothing.
And nothing is what you will end up with unless you call Anderson Services. Here.
Okay, this card is nice.
Yeah.
What's this?
Your rental fee. Have business will pay rent. Hot and groovy in the soca party.
Coming up, spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda in the Carnival Zone and with some ocean inhabitants. The kids delivered as always on the track and in the pool. The power to make a difference, supporting great initiatives in St. Kitts and Nevis. There's a true Jamaican feel amidst the grandeur at this hotel. Another milestone for Trinidad and Tobago tourism. It's all next on this station.
Sun Up Tobago presents Solara. Celebrating the 9th edition of your favorite party in the East, where style and good vibes meet. Get ready for the food-inclusive cool experience you love. This July 4th, we return to the East, bringing you the perfect blend of mouth-watering food flavors, premium vibes, and unforgettable energy.
One thing more than fear understood. When girl, good girl.
Grab your cooler, hold your crew, and escape to Tobago's ultimate vibe. Join us at 4 p.m. at the Deltec compound in Argyle. Get your tickets now at Waterhole Bar and Pablo Supermarket Argyle. Barcode Scarborough, Eco Spots, Dudley Park, Lee Jones Bar on the Esplanade, and Jane Monkey Crown Point, or online at islandetickets.com. Sun Out Tobago, Solara, 9 years strong. Your favorite party in the East is calling Saturday, 4th of July, Deltec compound Argyle.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's conversations, and this morning we want to wrap up and we hope that you have a great day. We want to thank you so much for your likes, your shares and your comments and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix and have a great day.